Rob, what do you call a runner who's wearing earbuds?
I'm really bad at these. What do you call them?
I said, what do you call a runner who's wearing earbuds?
I, I said I give up.
Yeah,
I don't
that's
know.
it. That's the joke, mate, because you're wearing earbuds.
Right.
Oh, Rob, you didn't get it, did you? You didn't get it.
And still don't, and probably never will.
Well, you're deaf because you're wearing earbuds, so you have to repeat it a little louder.
Well, it's not funny because I actually am deaf on one side, as well you know. So that's a sensitive subject. Oh, he's tried something. It's gone anyway.
Yeah.
How you doing?
Oh, yeah, I'm good. Obviously, you've just had the Grand Slam done. That's the reason we started this whole thing, isn't it? Or one of them.
Yeah, a few little claps. Yeah, well done.
Yeah, a couple of claps.
It's good. I'm yeah.
How was your Grand Slam? How was your Grand Slam?
So I am yet to complete the Grand Slam.
Yeah.
I did have a pretty brilliant weekend though. That was a 100-mile personal best. So yeah, I can't not be happy with that. It's really
Chin
good.
chin, boy. Chin
All
chin.
day out this way.
Yeah.
Cheers, eh?
Have the usual walking buffet, did you? Crude?
Yeah, well, I actually probably didn't eat as much as I normally would, but that was all right. I've still got plenty of body fat to work through, so that can fuel me. Yeah, I had a crew, brilliant crew. The marathon twins, world record holders, Teresa and Julia, they were brilliant, absolute stars. And I enjoyed myself, saw plenty of friends and stuff. You know, we went and stayed in that little cottage, didn't we? And then
well, when we found it,
nice.
We did. Yeah, when we found the fucking thing,
when
we did.
We eventually found out.
Jesus Christ! So you took a cab from Winchester City. Is it a city?
I don't know.
It's got a cathedral, I think.
So,
well, whatever. You told the cab driver to just stop in the middle of nowhere and let us out.
Yeah, because I knew he was going to take us an extra 5 miles round and charge me another 15 quid. And I knew you wouldn't pay me back because you're tight. So I was like, no, we will get out. We need to loosen our legs up. We can walk 1 mile to the cottage.
Yeah, in flip-flops through stinging nettles and thorns and that, yeah.
Not my fault you don't wear sensible shoes, is it?
Didn't know I was going to be hiking at 10 o'clock at night, whatever it is.
I didn't know we were going to the beach, but obviously we were since someone bought flip-flops. What are you doing?
Lady was a bit freaky, wasn't she?
Yeah. Just for context, not being horrible, she just kept saying it's one of these people that when you go to stay in their like Airbnb thing, they insist on showing you like every sugar packet and every different flavour.
At 10 o'clock at night, and we're just like,
yeah,
I don't care, love.
And it was more that I've said 4 times. I told so many people about this during the race the next day. I said at least 4 times, yeah, I've got to get up at 4, so just trying to get to bed as soon as possible, really. But I was saying it in a really polite way.
Yeah.
Being like just so
But
nice.
she took it. She said, "Oh my God, that's terrible. You've got to get up at 4 in the morning." Which is like, yeah, it's not terrible. Like we've paid to do this, but she was just there, devastated. She's like, "Why have you come to my beautiful cottage and you're not going to enjoy the facilities?
You're just going to use it as a bed and a shower?" And not drink all the flavoured Waitrose teas. The funniest thing, Si, which I don't think you clocked because you were so quick out to get into the car in the morning, but her husband, who obviously co-owns the house, was up at 4:30 as we were leaving.
Why?
He popped out with a cup of tea in his hand with his dressing gown on and shouted at me insistently, "Did you sleep well, boys?"
Oh my God! Did you sign the visitors book? Can we have signatures? Can we?
I better go back while I've got these 18 bags in my hand and
I'm
clearly like trying to eat this porridge, mate.
Oh my God! I left the light on upstairs. I think you might get billed.
I'm sure I did a sweep and turned everything off.
Oh, okay. Might not be mine then.
I didn't touch dirty towels though. Yeah.
Oh, that was pretty funny. And weren't we like proper? I mean, the morning was funny. So the alarm went off at 4, didn't it? Neither of us slept. And then we
both had compared sleep about 3 hours probably.
Yeah. Then we're just so desperate to like, oh God, shovel this in, eat that porridge, the golden syrup one. I had to go get it, didn't I? Because my train came in earlier because all the trains were knackered. That was a 100-miler before we'd even done a 100-miler.
Oh yeah, the South Western Rail 100. That was a nightmare. It's just these things that shouldn't happen, and then
it shouldn't happen.
Shouldn't happen. No, we went and just like ate plenty and stuff, and then in the morning we're all like following these routines and trying who's going in the shower first. Quick, I need to pack my drop bags, and so organised, aren't we? Oh,
Yeah,
blimey! But
yeah.
it's done now, and it was
It's
good,
done.
wasn't it?
Oh, I thoroughly enjoyed it. Where are we at? Wednesday.
Yeah.
I don't think I've still had the come down on. I don't know if that's a good thing or not, but I don't think I've had my come down yet.
I'm still physically tired. Don't know if you're getting this, but
Yes.
at work and stuff. Like I know I'm working on the computer, but I'm fading out when I'm mid sentence. Sometimes I'm forgetting what the next sentence is, and I'm not falling asleep, but I'm just sleep deprived still.
I'm one step away from being fired, if I'm honest, Rob. I mean, submitting my expenses, got them wrong. So, falsifying expenses, I was trying to claim over, I don't know, there was one line of a train ticket. I said 24 quid, it's £11.50. Don't know what the discrepancy is there.
Train ticket to Winchester.
Yeah, hang on, what's this about? Yeah, and then another one I did, just trying to submit a holiday. I want Friday off, didn't get that right either, did I? Says here on your form, Simon, you want Sunday off. Oh,
I think you should be fired. It doesn't sound like you're very good at your job.
well,
Then
I'm
again,
not even good at the admin.
I was at a conference call presenting to 36 people on the weekly project call where for some reason I'm vaguely in charge. And I just said at one point, like a stupid footballer interviewer, yeah, I sort of lost my train of thought there. Oh, let me look at the notes. Oh, I didn't do any notes.
Little note
Oh.
to self. Both of us weren't actually employed this time last year.
And I said, I'll leave that there. Any questions, anybody from the floor? No, you've all literally gone down your lunch. Funny. Oh dear. Well, let's not talk too much about how bad we are, because some people might have to recommend us for jobs one day when we're unemployed again.
Oh God, yeah. So I mean, I'm just going to start talking to you. So there was 19 Grand Slammers out there at the weekend. Only there was 400 and something runners, Rob, and only 19 Grand Slammers.
Little Roger Redbib, weren't you?
I was Roger Redbib.
Special.
Did you read those? Roger Red Hat, Billy Blue Hat, Jennifer and Johnny Yellow Hat.
That's why I made it up to bully you.
Okay.
Except I didn't see you because you, after saying you might do the first, well, you didn't. I said we'd do the first bit together because you're worried about your hurting knee. Yeah. You just took off, didn't you, when I was in the toilets?
Yeah, we literally got out of Ollie Dawson's car, and I was like, right, do you know what, lads? I'm just going now. I'm going. I've got, I'm busy. Got to go.
What a surprise! I'm busy. Not going to go to the toilet, even though I need to. See you later.
Yeah, I did need to. I did need the toilet for the first 30 miles. Oh.
Your behaviour is appalling.
But
having
that red bib was amazing. So I turned up at the start. James gave me a personal hello, so James is the race
director. Is that part of the service? It is.
Morning, James. He's morning, Simon. Here's your bib. Oh, thank you very much. Oh, it's red, that one. Has anyone else got one? Only 19 others have got that red bib, mate. Oh, thanks, bud.
Only 18.
18. Yeah. As I said,
don't make it less exclusive. There's 19 people who are part of the longest temporal slam ever.
I was very anxious because I thought I would be walking from, say, 10 miles in because of my knee, but it just never came. The knee never came, and I just kept going and going and going. Missed an aid station. I'll give the highlights. Missed an aid station at 35 miles, I think it was. Let's not go into the ins and outs of how stupid that is, but just missed it.
For context, it's a really difficult one to miss because you basically walk through a field that has a massive tent in it. But missed that. So then WhatsApped my crew and pacers. It's both same. You have your crew.
Well, yeah, we called ourselves the Dream Team.
That was my crew's name.
Yeah, we nicked it. They were so well. Ben wasn't. Carrie was. Carrie was on it. So I was literally right. I've missed this 35-mile aid station. Help! And it was like, where's the nearest tap? So then we were talking taps on South Downs Way.
Where's the nearest tap?
Where is the nearest tap, Rob?
You should have to drink out of the puddle for the way you behave.
This is the deep end. Mate. This is the deep end, Rob, right? When you don't have waiter service. Oh, no, you didn't have waiter service, did you, until 54?
I didn't see anyone until 54 miles, sir. So actually, you were more needy than me for once.
Okay, yeah. So missed the aid station at 35, which meant that by 50 miles, I was proper cooked because of that mistake earlier.
Yeah.
So then Carrie came up to give me 2 lollies and an Oasis. You know those drinks that aren't fizzy.
Yeah.
Yeah, this was totally unscripted as
I'm
well.
familiar with Oasis.
I was like,
Yeah,
get up and give it to me.
It doesn't sound like the most scripted operation. 2 lollies.
No.
What are you doing? Lolly.
Calippo orange 2, please. And then then I was reborn.
Perfect fuel for 100 miles, like 250 calories.
Yeah. Reborn, got to Washington, which is the 54, where I think most people got their paces at.
Yes.
Yeah. So then I had company basically from 54 miles till the end, thank God.
Good. My mind was at ease. I didn't have to check anymore on the little chat.
Yeah. It's brilliant. As a team we work well. My other pace was an old friend from school who was on this actually way back when. Called Ben Steele. So this was his first outing, and bless him, it was amazing. But you could tell. So with carrying the WhatsApp group, if you ask a question, it's bang straight on. Knows the importance of things. If somebody fatigued and tired and almost ready to tap out wants a Calippo, you get a Calippo, or is that just me?
I know this only applies to you because it's not that your need is, you're quite demanding and insistent, and if your needs aren't met very immediately, you get a bit angry. Yeah. I think
so.
You're not very patient.
So when we got to Ben, Ben took over at 66 miles, and we were literally frog marching up this hill. I said, right, what's the situ with the cold stuff? Ice creams, ice lollies, cold drink. What you having? And we put the order in, and the Muppet, he's just like, been to the shop, no Calippos. And because I'm such a drama queen, I'm literally there going, is he having a laugh? He's only been to one shop, has he? Has he not been to 2 or 3? Let's get the Calippos. I'm probably about 10 miles.
The pasty that you left this morning, you joker.
Yeah.
That is a drama queen. I love it though. That's so pathetic that you needed a nice lolly.
But I've been drinking warm water the whole day.
Warm jam sandwiches.
Jam sandwiches. Warm. Everything's warm, and I just wanted something cold. And then eventually Ben replies, "Yeah, mate, I've got it all. Not the Calippos, but yeah." I was like, Ben, mate, seriously, at this point, anything cold, or else I'm just going to die. He said, don't worry, I've got the aircon on in the car. What's that going to do? He's bought the bloody things like hours ago. Oh, don't worry, the aircon's on in the car. I was losing my shit, basically, Rob. And then it was so good to see Ben, and we got, what did we get? I got some sort of sandwich out of him, and a Coke and an Oasis. No lollies, but I'll forgive him.
Boy.
I'll forgive him.
Yeah.
Did the night shift with Ben until I got a bit delirious at about, I don't know, 80 miles maybe. No, sorry, 87. Yeah. Then they switched again. Frog marched in. Grand Slam. Job done. You?
Again. Well done. So I went out. I started running on my own. Like, I run on my own in these things. Just
like everyone does. What do you mean?
Yeah. No, but a lot of people run with someone of a similar pace, or they buddy up. I had my headphones in. What was rare for me is during 100 miles, I don't usually do my little sing-song thing, but I was doing it because I was in pain quite early on. I had excruciating stomach pains. Never had it in my life. It felt like what people describe when your appendix rumbles before it bursts, or something like that, or I don't know what a hernia could feel like. So I don't know what it is. 3 times during the race, 1 hour in, 8 hours in, and 13 hours in, my stomach felt like an ulcer had burst or something, because I was in genuinely, it felt like there's fire inside me, and it wasn't related to moving. But I noticed it only happened when I slowed down, so I had to keep jogging and keep the endorphins up.
On this one, was this the first one where you didn't have like a walking buffet for the whole thing?
This is the first time. No. The 2 that I finished out of the 4 in the slam were where I was crewed.
Right. So sorry,
and
you finished the 2.
Hang on, no, I was crewed in the North Downs as well. No. So, but that I only 4 weeks notice to do that. So no, it's not the first I had walking buffet on. And actually, I didn't. I said to the dream team, Teresa and Julia, Hooker and me, that we didn't need to see each other until 54 miles. However, what's so great about the little running circle we live in is some of the people that I was jogging along with, Jay Flat, for example, doing it.
Oh, did they have crew? Did they have crew for you to buffy on?
Crew, yeah. And when I needed salt caps, like about 50 miles in, because I had no salt basically, and the crisps I couldn't eat because it was so hot for whatever reason. When I don't know, I don't love crisps anyway, but I was just finding it difficult to have them.
It's hot. It's just hot.
Yeah,
that's the problem.
I needed concentrated salt into my body because I was still drinking water well, but it's like, hang on, I haven't had enough salt. I'm probably going to cramp or die or something. So yeah, that happened, but that's good. And I also happen to know a few other people just from other races who had crews about my pace. And they, give the odd ice cube and stuff. It makes a difference when you've got warm Coke in your cup and you just throw an ice cube in it. It's just great. Or sun cream.
I need to shout out Richard and Jojo. You know those two?
Yeah.
I was on my arse at 50, and I saw them. I was like, they were long lost friends. Hello, help! And they did, sat in their deck chair.
And they were probably like, Rob likes him. He must be all right. Never talks to us, but he must be a nice guy.
Oh, yeah.
What did they give you? Little chair?
Little chair, mate. Little chair whilst I was waiting for my Calippos.
Not heard of Beware the Chair? No, he loves laying down. I don't know how you got through all this. It's absolutely wonderful. You should write a book on how to fucking wing it. So funny. But it's good though. No, those people rally around. If they recognise you and they see that you need something, even if it is like a cup of water, they're always going to give it to you. They're always going to help, unless it's like Paul Masonator as well gave me this was real turning point. I was having my first real low about 35 miles. Paul gives me one sugar-free fizzy Rubicon drink that I've never had in my life, and something about
Rubicon sounds like something out of My Little Pony or something, mate. What the hell's that?
That's the make of it, but it was just some sort of weird blackcurranty, fruity, bursty thing, and I just had that, and for whatever reason, it gave me this massive lift. There's no sugar in it either.
What has it got in it then?
It's just cold fizzy, red. Yeah, cold fizzy red, and I just felt cooled down suddenly, and I just started, that annoyingly fast walk I do. I just started doing that again. It was like I'm back in rhythm now. I feel okay again, and long story short, my crew and pacing were amazing. I didn't actually eat as much as I asked for, but I'm really glad it was there because when I wanted it, I had bread roll, I had a pack of crisps, some quiche, which went down so well after all the warm sandwiches, like you say. A quiche out of a cool box just was perfect. Actually tasted fresh.
But I loved this weekend. I loved it. I think it was a real running family atmosphere, especially at the end, man. I didn't have to wait long for you at the end. 20 minutes, 30 minutes maybe. But we're all there. John, Sarah,
it
Richard,
was amazing.
Jojo,
just seeing
the twins, the Rhino guy. Chris, is it? The Rhino guy?
Yeah, Rhino Chris. But from my perspective, when I had kind of Teresa at my arm's length next to me and I was just talking to her, I was sort of like... for whatever reason, in the last mile or so, we're taking our head off it, running a bit faster, planning like the photos we do at the finish line.
Yeah.
And then we both turn our head and we see Julia, who's obviously the other part of the twins in the team, in her coat, like with her arms up, cheering. Yeah. Then I see Jojo, then I see Richard, then I see you coming into frame with your team, and John and Sarah, who
mate, there was so much bullshitty hoo-ha about you before you turned up. I don't think I've told you this. But they're all sitting round in a circle going, ain't Rob great? And I'm sitting there with my Grand Slam stuff. Yeah, fuming. I'm absolutely fuming. And then Richard makes a joke just saying, well, you sat down for most of your run. I was just like, where are we going with this? Where are we going? And then there was some comments about me not being approachable and all sorts.
Oh,
and
no.
I couldn't believe this. And I was like, right, I don't care about this. I know I'm in my flip-flops, but when Rob comes running around this track, I'm going to join him. I'm going to bloody run in with him as well. They said, no, don't do that. Don't do that. He's so lovely. I was like, what is this? I was half expecting your mum to turn up with banners.
Sorry to say it, man. You wouldn't have kept up with me on that track.
I wouldn't. No, I wouldn't, because you left your pacer, who did it for 46 miles, just dead.
Poor Teresa. I've only seen it in the video since.
Teresa, he's got his head in his hands. He's got his head in his hands.
on-air apology, and I did afterwards, but it's kind of funny and kind of. But we spoke 3 times, and I said I'm going to stop bugging you about this now because all the way into from Jevington, which is the last 4 miles, I kept saying to her, "I'd like you to. You've done so much of the night with me. You run around the track," and she kept saying, "No, it's like it's your thing, it's your finish." I was like, "No, it's our finish. We've done this together." And then she was like, "Oh, but then Julia won't be ready to run with us, and it won't be the whole team." And she said, "No, we'll just do the photos, Rob." And then only when I look back as I'm crossing the line can I see she's behind me.
Yeah.
And I'm like, yeah, but to be fair, she's a much quicker runner than me. I know I went for it, and I actually even turned around to the couple that I passed about 100 minutes from finish. I went, "I'm sorry, guys, I feel like a right dick."
You did. You passed them as well on the track. I was like, because I think.
I had, no, it was awkward tonight because you get this thing where you're either going to finish at the same time as like a nice married couple,
And you want your photo. You want your photo, don't you? I remember we were all standing there, and there's a video somewhere, isn't there? Me screaming, "What's he doing? Look at him! What's he doing? He's ditched his pace."
Went, seriously. It's like
seriously. Seriously, what is he doing? Somebody tell him.
Someone tell him off. Like, stop him. Make him go back. Funny.
It is.
But what it looked like, by the way, all I was going to say is when you all lined up there, and you come through this gate, and on any day that track is just, I've reckoned the end of it for. It's just a track. There's no one there, just a gate. But on this day, in that sunlight, after being up all night, being so tired, and with the two of us coming in, it sort of weirdly, it was sound too dramatic. It felt like what it must feel like to come home from war and see your family or something.
Bit dramatic, coming home from war.
Yeah, but it has that feel to it. It's like you've been out on a quest, or how Frodo must have felt like going back to the Shire. That's probably more appropriate.
I mean, for me, it's more of a relief or a release. There it is. There's the finish line. Blah 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 blah. But Rob, I don't know. This was your booking tonight, wasn't it? The guy we've got on next, and he was also there. He was also there this weekend, but he didn't muck around like us. I
didn't manage to catch him.
No, I think I saw him take me at mile 2, and then that was it. In his tights, he was in his tights. I couldn't believe it, but. I'm
clues here. We're playing the masked runner.
Yeah, I really enjoyed this one. I really enjoyed talking to James. I think it was, he's just amazing. So, without further ado,
first name.
Yeah, just listen to this. We've got James Bennett for you. Here he is. So just me clapping there.
James Bennett.
James.
How are you?
Not too bad.
Not too bad. All recovered from the weekend's party, exploits, ultras?
That's it, no. A fun weekend out.
A fun weekend out? Is that how it all lands now?
Your weekend was insane.
Yeah.
Yes. Unexpected to a degree.
Why? Why though? I don't get it. Why is that? You can't just do that and expect that to be unexpected, surely. So... Where did you come? Where did you place?
Again, I wouldn't expect it. So 6th place overall. What was last night? Yeah, it's like I was on cloud 9 when I finished. Literally.
On the South Downs 100, by the way, everyone. Same as we did. Yeah.
But it was actually nice, I think, because I started a bit later than I thought. So I started 4:45. What was great because actually you see the sunrise. So I've never seen a sunrise before with running. So that's the earliest
at the start, you mean, or ever?
Oh, at the start.
Yeah,
at the start.
Well, that's all right, James, because we were both up for the Sunday sunrise, so we all got a sunrise. Yours just came a bit earlier than ours, and you finished in the dark, didn't you? Like at night.
Yes. Yeah. So I did about 10 miles in the dark, so it wasn't too bad in that respect. But no, I took it a bit easier just at the start because I didn't know the course because we had to go around.
Sorry, you were in 3rd place, like the first 3 checkpoints.
I know.
Just chilling out really. Saturday morning.
That's it. No, as you do. But no, I had a plan of doing 40 miles in 6 hours because I knew it was going to be hot. I wanted to give everything I got at the start, and then you're going to die anyway during the day because it's going to be ridiculously hot. So I thought. That's how I've done it in a previous race, and it worked well. So I thought, let's just go that strategy.
I'm sorry, James, but 40 miles in 6 hours, right? When I was at my physical peak, that's what I could do, and that'd be it for me. and you're knocking out 40 miles in 6 hours, and then pretty much having a break for the rest of the race. Or what's happening there?
Yeah. No, I thought let's see wanted to get to that point because I knew that would be fine, and then after that was just to see what happens and just trying to keep running as best I could.
See, at least you can understand this, Simon.
I can, but it's madness.
I can understand any of that. Yeah, but I can't understand that speed at all.
I understand it. I understand it, and to me, this is absolute insanity. I mean, how did you have like a fueling strategy at all, James, for that first 40, and then the rest of it, or is this literally just running to feel?
Just running to feel. I don't have, and this is the thing actually with my running, probably compared to others. I have no strategy. I just run because that's how I feel. I will go with, if I feel rubbish, I'll walk a bit. If I feel good, I'll just keep going. And I had no strategy at all in that race, except for I wanted to get to 40 miles in that time. And then I was working per hour.
Yeah.
So in my head, I was thinking, okay, so I've got to this and working by checkpoints as well.
Yeah.
And yeah, so what I was quite surprised, I did 7:43 for 50 miles because I was clock watching myself all the time.
7:43.
Yeah.
And it's because Washington was 54 miles. I thought, oh, I should get there about 8:30, but I actually left there before 8:20. So it's like, okay, that's brilliant.
What are you doing when you're hitting the aid stations and the checkpoints? Are you literally in and out as quick as possible? Do you rest at all?
No. So usually I'm in and out within a minute, if that.
Yeah. Good man.
But some aid stations for the weekend, I did spend a bit more time just to get water, like do your cap and cooling towel I had. So just to keep trying nice and cool as you can. But usually I am in and out there within seconds because there's no point wasting time.
Exactly. Like even if you're not actually racing, like even me, right? I'm not racing. I'm just trying to do the best I can. But surely, like James, tell me if you do something quicker. But I have the bottles already emptied. I've poured out the last dregs. I have them in my mouth like a dog. I'll run up, so the lids are already off in my pocket. I fill them both, and I'll screw them on as I walk away. Like I don't. It's like it's an F1 pit stop, right, for you?
Sort of. I'm not as probably as efficient as you were, actually.
Well, then you might have gone on the podium if you'd followed my.
Patronising
awesome.
shit.
It's so interesting that you like have all the. I know you say you don't have strategy, but it's all like quite a high level thing. So it's like, well, this is about 40 miles, and this is what will happen at halfway. Kind of like a little story. Whereas I know people all over the field, from like the front back to the back, will have some of them will have like, I'm going to be going this many minutes per mile here, and this is how I'll fade, over time, and you just do it by feel. It's kind of cool.
James.
Yeah, and the other thing I was going to say is when I got to 80 odd miles, I actually thought, okay, PB's off, because the whole thing was I would love the PB at this race. I got it last time, so this was my PB race anyway. When I did it my first time, this is the second time I've ever done it, and I thought it was completely off. But when I got to the trig point and I asked how many miles left, it said 3. I thought, that's it. I've got it. Let's just go and push.
Just survive Death Gully, and then it's all flat.
So, if you saw anyone like James Elson or at finish, I'd just say I was going. I saw my splits at the end. The last part of the mile was averaging 6:36 per mile.
Stop it.
That's insane. I know everyone gets that sort of superhuman thing when you can sort of smell the line. Anyone can just go a bit faster, but that is mental.
Right,
what's your final time, James?
Yeah, sorry, before we do that though, but can we interpret that to the people that don't understand what that is? A 6:36 minute mile at the end of a 100-mile race is like the equivalent of doing what, a 2:50 marathon time at that pace?
Yeah.
Mental. That is mental. I mean, I was walking in. What the hell? Was there ever a point, James, where you were feeling sick or anything, or wanting to throw the towel in at all, or was it literally plain sailing away?
I wouldn't say it's plain sailing. We all had some. Some bad bits after Washington because it was so hot and humid and there's no cover. So that's where I really struggled during the race. And then the hills, as we know, when you go after Southeast, you've got that long climb up. I'd struggled down after Helsing as well. But there was 2 guys in front of me, and I just couldn't keep with them. So I didn't have any paces during this race or crew.
Wow.
And that's what I'd say, if I want to improve further, that's what I need. I need a bit more help in that respect to just keep me motivated and keep moving.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, I'd say it's a shock, just because I didn't think I was capable again to reach that times.
What was your final time, James?
17 hours 40 minutes.
Let's put that in context. Rob, what was your final time?
25 hours 11 minutes.
Yeah, and mine was 24:50. So James is literally blowing us out of the park. He's already gone home, had a sleep. We're still out there.
I'm totally okay with that. I did the best I could, so that's awesome, James. Massive. And also without a crew and without any pacing at all. That's brilliant.
But I wouldn't say, regardless of where you finish, it's a finish, isn't it? And that's what I think. We all face the same challenges. 100 miles is a long way, and that's what I am. Time doesn't really matter sometimes. It's lovely to get that time, I'll be honest.
I've noticed that with you on the circuit, James, is that sometimes I'll see you out there and you're taking it really easy, and I think, hang on a second, and that's James Bennett.
He's jogged with me for half a lap before.
Yeah. What's that about? What's that about, James? Clearly times are not everything to you at all then.
No. Times, when I get for times, it's great. And there will be races where I'm focused, and I'll go through one example late in a bit about that. But no, for me, it's actually just being there with other runners. And I would say the whole point of running is not just about self. It's being part of that event, being part of that people, friendships you make. That's what it's about. It's actually not about sometimes a race. Races are there to be had if you want it, but actually you get the most out of a race or an event because you're part of a family of running. And that's where you get your friends from.
That's cool.
So,
no, I love that. It's kind of interesting because you got a bit of both of us in you, it seems.
Yeah.
And but right, let's rewind. So I think you started. I don't know if you started running in 2014, James, but we've had a look at your sheet like we usually do. That's the first time you rocked up at a marathon, and it was in Brighton in 2014. What took you there for that first marathon?
I've always wanted to do a marathon. When I was at school, I used to do 1,500 meters. Always came last because I was rubbish. To be honest, I was an awful runner. I didn't even class myself even a runner. But it's just something I wanted to achieve in my lifetime, just a marathon. Just because you see it like London, always on TV, you get inspired like Paul Radcliffe people, Mo Farah these days. You get inspired by them and thinking, wow, everyone's running this race. Why? This is the ambition of mine. And that's what led me on to that. So I did, back in 2011, I did a half marathon. What's my first proper race? Did 2 hours 30 minutes. I was happy. I finished.
Yeah.
As we all do. Back then, it's like, oh wow, I've done half marathon. And then in 2013, I did what I thought was huge, was a half marathon in September and half marathon in October.
Bonkers.
So I thought, 2 marathons in two half marathons.
He's a nut out of control.
I thought, I'm ready to do a marathon now. And that's what led me to do Brighton. And I did it for charity. And I just thought, let's see what happens.
Did you train for it? Were your half marathons part of training or?
I didn't know what training really was back then, to be honest. And the furthest distance I went into that marathon was half marathon.
Yeah.
I thought, that's all you need. That will carry you through.
Oh, interesting.
I wasn't a big fan of training because all it was mostly concrete seawalls, because I used to live in Herne Bay. So there's a bit of countryside, but I never got over that way. So I just thought, let's see what I did. And then, it went an interesting journey, our class, Brighton was.
So tell us about the first one then, Brighton, because everyone's done Brighton, really, haven't they?
But tell me about it.
You're missing out, Rob. So no, it was. It went well in the first half. Did 2 hours. I was really happy, except for the second half. Bit my back massively. Literally after half a marathon, I started walking. I thought, oh my God, I can't be doing this anymore. And what I loved, and it's what I always reflect on, especially my first one, like I remember it yesterday, is the happy moments, the rubbish moments. Then you go happy again.
Yeah,
Then you go
yeah.
flat. It's all that things of emotions. It's just that moments of enjoying it and hating it at the same time. And it was just a relief to finish what was, I think it's a 4:55 off memory. And literally got back on the train and thought, that wasn't too bad after all, to be honest, type of thing.
Yeah.
The pain, the
Because you
memory
do.
of the pain just goes, doesn't it?
Yeah, it really does. And a true thing, the next day, I actually signed up to my next marathon.
The next day, all right. So you already caught that illness then.
So, and it was a favourite city of mine, and it's actually one of my favourite marathons is Liverpool Marathon. So, and then the second one actually took nearly 20 minutes off my second marathon. So I was like, oh wow, I'm actually improving here. So, but no, that's where I got the bug, actually, just because of that journey of happiness, horrible, happy, horrible. So,
Did you at that stage start to like realise that the happy bits were the bits that stayed with you, and so you could sort of keep carrying them through and do more, and I want more of this feeling, even if some of it's a bit rubbish?
yeah, and it wasn't always about time that back then. It was just actually finishing and seeing improvement gives you some encouragement as always. But I was just delighted really just to finish another marathon.
It's
So,
weird.
and that's what it was.
I think that's the first person who's actually said it how I feel about this game as well. It is there's a lot of pain with this, isn't there? But it's just so easily forgotten. And
So easy.
and then it just becomes all about the high, the runner's high or whatever it is. And then that's it. You just keep going and going and going. And then you hit the South Downs Way 100 over the weekend and do a blimmin' stonker. Unbelievable. You've done loads of it now, James. And like you've just said, you didn't get into it straight away. But then we've looked at your sheet. So you started doing doubles within your first year of running. So this is basically back to back, isn't it? So you say you can do one on a Saturday, and then you turn up again and do another marathon on the Sunday. What happened? How did that? Why? What happened there?
Okay, so I admit, and this is something what's on my sheet because I never actually ran it, is I actually thought I was superhuman at some point during the first year. So I was actually meant to do the triple one at Dymchurch, but it only shows one. It's because I got too scared and thought I can't actually do 2 more days. So I skipped out of it. What no one ever knows, except for Travis, would know that. And then it was Deal as well in December of 2014. I was meant to do a double. I said, you know what? I'm hurting. I can't even come next day. But that spurred me on January the following year, what was at Reculver, where I did my first double. And it was just like, oh, wow, actually you can do it. But that spurred me on thinking, oh, I couldn't feel it, I couldn't do it, and thought, actually, yes, let's go for it and let's succeed. And again, you just feel like a champion doing back-to-backs, to be honest.
It's interesting. It looks like it snowballed in that year as well, and you were doing like, I think you did 45 marathons 2015 and then 90 in 2016. So you literally doubled the amount you did in a year. And was that all just the way it made you feel, and that you could get through it personally, or were you seeing people, and we all know the names around who wear the shirts and stuff, and thinking they can do it, I can do it too?
I just wanted to get to 100, to be honest.
Again, it's just a man after my heart. It's exactly the same as me. It's just I don't care how hard this is. I'm just going to do it. 90 in 1 year.
Yes, and what was quite interesting, because that's my first American trip as well. I had what was leading up to my 100, and unfortunately I got injured a week before. So I was doing a 4 in 4. I was meant to do a 4 in 4, but I got injured during that time, and it's so frustrating. And then I said, I did 10K that day. But still, it's not too bad, but it wasn't a marathon, what I needed. So I had to move my 100 back a bit. So I wanted to actually celebrate my 100 as my 25th birthday. So it's a big thing I wanted to achieve in a certain amount of time. It didn't happen. It happened a week later, was absolutely fine. But it just literally, that a week later, I went to Little Rock, what's famous for its big medal. So I had luckily I own one of those. And it was just I came back and did a 3:27 the following week. So it's just like, what happened there?
Wow.
So
Was that a PB at the time?
Sorry?
Was that your PB at the time?
No, it wasn't. No, my PB at the time I think was a 3:02 with Travis. I think off the top of my memory.
Oh, what course do you know?
It could have been. Sorry?
Do you know what course, James?
Oh, that was Reculver.
Wow.
Where I did 3:02, and it's quite funny. I was running with Steve May for first 5K, just having like a normal chat. We was doing 8:30s as you do, and I thought,
yeah, as you do, as you
hang
do.
on, you can't just have a casual chat doing 8:30s for the first. Did you say 5K?
5K it was, and then
Right. So for the first 3 miles, you're doing. Let's do the maths. A sort of 3:40 pace, 3:45ish, something like that. For 3 miles, you've burnt there, and you still get a 3:02.
I just literally after that, something turned, and I said to Steve, "Do you know what? I'm just going to go on a bit," and just and then I just went into fast mode.
I'm raging. I'm absolutely raging.
And just and I just shocked myself to say, "Oh wow, I got this." So and what spurred me on is actually a week before I did Liverpool, gave everything at it, and I think I just missed a 3:05. And it was a warm day, and I felt sick actually after that race.
Good.
I wore myself out.
Good. Jesus, good man. Because when I'm down at that time, those times, it's slogging it out from start to finish. There's no rest there. You know, when you get to the A station, you can't hang about. But you managed to do 3 miles casual, and then turn it around. I don't understand.
The benefits of being warmed up, Simon.
I don't understand.
Can't just go hell for leather, can you? No, that's I say I can't understand it, but it's bloody impressive that you just sort of turn it on. And also, again, it sounds like you weren't fixated on anything other than just doing your best. You didn't have like the 3-hour mark in mind, did you?
No.
Did you?
And did you know what? And this is always from day one, I would never believed I could get sub 3. That's the honest truth. Because you don't. Because if you think where I started from, at 4:55, how are you going to take 2 hours? 2 hours 55 off. No, 1 hour 55. Sorry, is it right?
Can I ask, James? Do you know, like, just like for people that want to get faster? I suppose I'm in a position now where I want to work out ways to get quicker, and other than the sort of get lighter angle, like, did you do anything to get like 2 hours?
So if you said to me, not this year, if we look past years, I actually didn't do any training at all. So my training was my running.
Yeah.
And I thought, what's the point of training? Why do you need to do that?
Well, when you're running events, you know, week in, week out, fine. Yeah.
You don't need to do any training really, because your training is your running, and that's what I've always treated it as. And it was one of the hardest ever runs I ever did, because I thought I was Superman. And this is literally the honest truth. I thought I was Superman. Oh, and 100 I can do now. Was the first one I did was Samphire Ho.
A sub 3 at Samphire Ho. This does not make sense.
Did you have the travelator part of the course, or was it around the wasteland?
Oh no, it was actually a hot day.
Of course,
it was perfect conditions in set 4. It was just too hot. I got sunburnt at the end, but I did a 100-miler for my first one. With Travis in July, and the thing is, what some people will know, and it's not recommended, I actually went out again and did another marathon.
Gosh.
After your 100 miles.
Yeah, so that's why I've got the worst ever time now. I think it's 7 hours something.
Why did you do that? Sorry to break away, but why did you do that, James?
Okay, so my belief, and this is solely my belief, is if you don't try anything, you don't know anything's possible. So, and it was going to help me further in my career of running, of going to bigger events, go longer. And I just wanted to prove something actually again. If you say you can try and do something, challenge yourself. Because if you don't challenge, you're never going to know. And to this day, I don't know how many people have done something silly like that. But if you don't try it, You never know it's going to
You've
actually
come a long way from dodging a Dymchurch triple, haven't you?
Yes,
That's meant to. And so first I heard of this, James. You and I, as a sort of aside, were jogging together or clambering up a little hill during a 100-mile I was doing recently. You had turned up, and I was like, I haven't seen James lap me until now. What's going on? And he was coming up a hill behind me. Had a little brief chat. I then worked out that you'd been at the North Downs Way 50, running that in about 7 hours that morning, and driven over to Kent to run 100 miles, or at least I think you did 50 in the end. And I was like, and that was when I knew we had to speak to James. I was like, what on earth are you doing? I love it. It's mad. It's properly broken, but it's awesome. What possesses you? Is it the same theory? If I don't try, I don't know.
It's that, and also one thing is another thing I love to do is inspire other people, because if you see something so wacky like that, it's like, how's that humanly possible?
But it's true. You are true, James, because people were chinwagging about this. As soon as I heard this, I think Rob or John or Sarah, somebody told me. I was
on the phone straight away.
Yeah.
I was like, what?
Well, he's doing that, isn't he? What? That is just ridiculous. And you're right. You're getting people talking because it's just sheer madness, my friend.
It is sheer madness, and I wouldn't recommend it for anyone. But it's just that thing again that if you don't try, you don't know. And it didn't happen that day. And it's just like, I was upset, yes, because I'm passionate. I wanted to say, actually, I could do it. But it didn't. But the thing, what some people will know, is actually a week later, and this is sheer madness because I didn't expect it. I wanted to go for it. I was focused. I went to Kempton Park, what was Richmond Marathon, and did a 2:57.
Seen it, man. Seen it.
And you just, again, it was that thing again, would I ever get sub 3? No, because I would never thought I could do it. It's been 4 years since I've done that.
Yeah. Did you just turn up and feel good then? Or it was just going well? Did you start that one with your 8:30s having a chat? Or was that one hell forever?
No, I was snapping on straight away, setting out at doing, I think I was doing 6:15s to 6:20s.
Yeah.
Starting out.
Yeah.
And I was getting, I think I did my fastest ever half marathon, 1:23.
Okay.
Felt good, but then the heat got to me a bit because there's only an aid station every 5k, and it's a different course. Never done Kempton Park. It's the first time I've been there. Nice to see there was lots of people I was passing, so you could just, and cheering because there was a few people we knew there. But it was just literally my focus was I want to get sub 3.
So when did you feel that happening? Before you turned up? During the run?
Yeah, so before I turned up, some people might use virtual pacer on your watch, and I set it in at 6:45 because I knew I needed to be around there to get sub 3, and I overestimated if the course was long.
Yeah.
As you have to do sometimes on road courses. So, and it was very long. It was a 26.55 course, so nearly a third of a mile long. But yeah, I just needed to keep pushing, and then there was like mile 20. 6 miles ago, I was thinking, how much longer do I have to go?
Yeah, just hang on, man. Just hang on.
Hanging on and thinking, oh, can I just walk here?
No.
No, I didn't. I just thought I had to just keep digging in. And that's what it is. You have to just, it was the hardest run I've done in a long time. You just dig in and dig in. And then you end up.
It's a totally different type of pain to anything I've ever felt when going at that speed for that long. Like it is. Yeah. My first one, it felt like I was either going to be lifted out by an A&E ambulance at some stage or finishing claps at the line. You know, it's mental. Absolutely mental.
It is. I know it is mental. But when I did my first one, again, I don't do anything by halves. What people won't, because when I did my first one, 6 months before that, I was actually running 5-hour marathons because I was recovering from my second ever 100-miler. What many people haven't done. It's called T100. I've seen it advertised before.
Oh, yeah. That's totally unsupported, isn't it?
There you go.
Yeah.
And you're only allowed to have water.
Water taps and supermarkets.
Water from the taps. No, I don't think you're even allowed to have supermarkets, though, James. Explain the rules for the people that don't know that one.
So that one, it's changed organisations now. So for original series is literally you carry everything you've got. And again, I was super underprepared. I actually used the London 2012 rucksack. I didn't even know
Oh my
you
God.
have running rucksacks. I was a
Love it.
novice.
You're like one of these people they discover in the Copper Canyons in Mexico, running around with a bit of old tire strapped to your feet. No offense, I think it's brilliant.
No.
Just using whatever old kit's lying around, just a like cotton t-shirt. Oh yeah, just did 250. Brilliant.
But yeah, it's totally unsupported, isn't it? And you only can have what you can carry from the start line and water taps that are on the Thames.
Okay.
So there's no, you can't, Robbie, you can't do the supermarkets. That's it.
That's it. And at that point, I didn't even know taps existed. So what we was actually using was the aid stations.
Right.
And the aid stations are even severe than South Downs 100. So if you think they're far apart sometimes.
They're like 20 miles, aren't they?
The longest was 38.
Christ. What's the point? What's the point?
That's so dumb. Oh my God.
And that's
punishing.
This was the T100, so it was 100 miler, James. And there was one aid station 38 miles out.
For you, even at your speed, James, that's 6 hours apart for an aid station.
And the other difficulty is actually during bank holiday in August. So it was hot. So the aid stations were 13 miles, 26, 42, and 80.
Oh my God.
It's a journey. What was interesting, I learnt my lessons. It was the hardest ever race I can actually remember.
What lessons are you learning from that? I mean, stating the obvious, but what lessons?
Yeah, it's determination. And you learn a lot about yourselves, actually, how you can just cope and just keep walking. And I can tell you, I actually got to the 80-mile point under 24 hours. I forget how long, but I know the last 20 miles took me 8 hours. And my slowest mile, what people laugh at, was 30-minute miling. And it was awful.
So that's not really moving. What was happening then with that 30-minute mile? What was going on?
Just literally, I just couldn't do anymore, to be honest. And that's my only second one. And I've just thought, after the first one, it's easy. You can do these. It's fun.
So what were you doing? What were you doing? Were you standing? Were you hunched over? Were you trying to be sick or what?
No, just walking. But yeah, just very, 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 very slowly and probably breathing.
It's like pigeon steps, mate.
See, no, but that's really that's like you say, but to yourself, like when you did that first double and you sort of grew the confidence by going through some of the, if you call adversity, whether it's self-inflicted or not, you now know that you can do that. You can go 40 miles without an aid station if you had to. Whereas I know one of my flaws is I feel like I have to have water all the time. If I run out of water, I start to panic. So if you've adapted to that, then that just makes you more resilient for pushing on in, say, the 100 you just did, right?
Yeah, and what was the thing? It's actually this race actually there's only 9 finishers for the 100, and I'm proud to say I was the 9th. I don't care.
Yeah, but you finished, man.
Really care.
Amazing.
It's a finish. It's a finish. So, but no, I learned a lot of lessons. But it put me way back. Literally, I couldn't even. I just lost all my not fitness, but you just lose all your speed. I lost everything, and I had to work it back up. And that's what actually changed. So within that 6 months of doing 6 hours to 5:30s, really struggling, something changed in March of the following year in 2017. And I was going for road marathons anyway, because I wanted to achieve 100 road was one of my targets. And
now, hang on, James. Aren't you something special about that? 100 road marathons. I think I've read somewhere. Surely.
Yes.
What is it?
I'm the youngest person in the UK to achieve 100 road.
Wow.
Awesome.
It's one of them. So
at what age, just in case anyone wants to go and take it on?
I think it's 27. I think I was back then.
This was one thing Rob and I were curious about, James. Don't have to answer. We can't place how old you are. How old are you?
No. I'm having best times of my life at the minute, and I've only just turned 30.
Yeah.
No. Oh wow, that's amazing. And how many?
It's amazing because you've got that like accolade, but also you've got so much experience, done so much running. because you kind of jump. You don't want to say you jumped in the deep end pretty quick down in Kent, didn't you? So
Yeah, and I'm actually very happy I've started early, because actually I've got so much many years left in me.
Yeah.
If I wanted, if I
You
wanted it.
hear it a lot, don't you, on the circuit? All the time, all of them. Oh, I wish I was, I wish I'd started this when I was your age, kid, and all this sort of stuff.
I'm sure they don't sound like that, but it was no. It's got more accessible though. We're actually like people say it in not the best way sometimes, but we're kind of lucky that we're in like the nexus of all these new racing companies emerging, and we still have a lot of the road stuff that exists. If you want to go and do what you did, James, although I have been missing roads and like my local marathon in Chelmsford, which I've seen you signed up to, just because we haven't been able to do it because of what's been going on. But yeah,
No,
it's cool. We have a lot of stuff available to us.
yeah, no, and actually at the start is actually, as you see, I did mostly road marathons because that's all you know.
Yeah.
I didn't know anything about these low key stuff, so it's actually
Running around car parks and farms.
so no, it was just amazing. But yeah, so no, when it changed, I just literally at March, I went to Marseille, and it was Don Richards I met at the start. He said, "Oh, what are you gonna do today?" I said, "I'm just gonna have a run," type of thing. And it was actually mile 18. I was thinking, oh my God, I'm on a sub-3 pace here. What's happening? And it got to about 24 miles, and literally it all went to ground. But then that's actually what makes you determine more. So I ended up, I think it's a 3:20 that day because it got so hot. But again, you do learn lots about yourself. And it's actually, I went to do Boston. And again, this is a dream.
Nice.
In America, it was just amazing. But we arrived in Boston, got my number, stayed there for one night, and then I actually went down to Newport and Rhode Island because I thought, oh, it's a road marathon. Might as well do a short trip. Might as well do 2 marathons instead of 1. And it's road.
Just devalue the Boston. Just devalue that a bit.
Well, you've made all that trip to America. You may as well see some sights in Newport, wherever that is.
It just reminded me of Margate, actually. Just ran around a little...
Lovely.
Oh, Christ's sake.
And I had for dinner the night before Subway, and they said, oh, would you like chips with that? I thought, oh, perfect. First time having Subway. I thought, oh, chips is perfect.
This is the highlight.
No,
this is the highlight.
They were crunchy chips. That's funny.
And then I went out that race, brand new trainers, and I said to my mum, I promised her, I've got a race on Monday. I'm going to go nice and steady. That lasted 1 mile.
Well, we all know what promises to mums are like, don't we?
Yes. No, I've gone back into competitive mode. I've got to go and try. And it went to about 19 miles in just over 2 hours it was. So the new sub-3 was potentially on. But then the hills came and I thought, you go into sensible mode thinking, wait a sec. And sometimes I do this even during races now, where I think, oh, I've done halfway. My race is actually now, my focus is actually finished, but actually my next thinking is on to my next race. I need to be thinking about that sometimes. So I thought, you know what? Just take it easy now. Let's enjoy it and just finish. And I did a 3:28 that day, I think it was. I know it's up 3:30 and I was quite happy with that. And then, Boston, didn't expect it completely, but I wanted to give it my best, sure. And it was one of my favourite ever marathons. The crowds are just amazing. And I think it's mile 12, and you got the college girls out.
Just pick up the pace, boys. College girls are
out. But no, the crowd was absolutely amazing, and it was like 25 miles in. I thought, wow, this is actually on. I could get my first ever sub-3, and did 2:57, and just so delighted.
Boom. Yes,
nice one.
I know the feeling, mate. It's crazy.
And you just want to be calling everyone,
because
it's just like that. When I got to the hotel, my mum said, "You're back already?" It's like, yeah, I did it. I got.
It's not just that though. It's like it's working so hard on the actual race, and I think for me, I need an awful lot of luck for it, and everything needs to go right, and I still feel like utter death when I'm doing it. But it's a big thing, and like you said, it's brilliant. It's amazing. I'm starting to fall in love with you, James.
And then I think we got on a flight that night back to the UK and everything, because I knew I had London on the Sunday. And then you meet Rick at the Expo. And Rick had a quiet word actually with me, saying, "Oh, what are you going to achieve this weekend?" I said, "I don't know. We'll see what happens." He said, "Go and try another sub-3. I know you can do it."
Yeah.
I didn't go with that intentions. I thought, do you know what? Why not? Let's see what happens.
With this one though, James, were you chasing another? I mean, obviously Rick's had a word in your ear and all that sort of stuff, but for me, on my second one, I wanted it to prove that the first was not a fluke. Any of that going on?
No.
No. Okay.
Actually, no. It wasn't. No, it's just I had a few issues. I won't go into too much detail. But I was on the green start. Arrived there a bit early-ish. Went to the toilet, as you do, as we all do.
Yeah.
And then about 20 minutes to go or 10 minutes to go, I thought, I need to go again. I know I can't wait, type of thing. And the queues were just so long, I thought, I can't be bothered to wait. So actually, you started that race probably not in the best comfort, because you know other things are on your mind.
Yeah.
And I just ran as I felt. And I remember going through 5K in, I forget, say 19 minutes or 20 minutes it was. I forget the timings. And I'll go through, actually, I did a comparison between Boston and London as well. This was really interesting. It was actually nearly the exact same time as the previous race when I looked back on it. And I saw Dingle, and Dingle said, and everyone knows Dingle, it's David, I can't think of his surname now.
Goodwin.
That's it. Thank you. And he said, go for it. And I did. I actually just thought, let's enjoy it, but actually let's try and see what you can achieve. And I just kept going and going. The 10K time was like same as Boston. And half marathon, I think, was just slightly quicker. I did a 1:25 half.
And you're knowing this just by looking at your watch. You're saying, right, last week it was this time, and this week it's this time.
No.
Oh, this was in hindsight.
And hindsight, I couldn't believe it, because you don't. To be honest, I never looked back on the splits always.
Yeah.
Because you just.
This is how you felt on the day in London.
This
then.
is how you feel.
Yeah.
And I was just like over the moon, thinking, wow, this is amazing. And I just continued, and then I had a really horrible period between miles 15 to 20, or even probably 22, where I was having salt tablets, and that was taking some of the pain away.
Mm-hmm.
Then I ran out. I think it was actually mile 18. I ran out thinking, blimey, I've picked maybe 5 or 6. Literally each mile. It was just. It's
What, a tablet a mile?
Yes.
Wow.
Jeez.
Whoa.
I just thought it took that pain away for probably for a mile, not a mile, but probably for a couple of minutes. I was thinking I need another one, because I just needed something just to give me that boost. And I ran out at mile 18. So it's just literally thinking, it's me now with water or Lucozade to get to the finish. And yeah, I just kept pushing. I felt I was getting slower, but actually I wasn't. I was actually still keeping a consistent pace. And I remember at mile 25, just leading on to before you get to the finish, but the embankment, I saw Kin Elizabeth, and she said, "Oh, go James," type of thing. Thinking, yes, actually, it's about 2:45 at this point. And I remember thinking, well, I could get a qualifier for New York. This is just like, wow, who would ever expect this? And that was my motivation, thinking just keep pushing and just get to
don't walk it in now.
So good.
And yeah, it just came to a 2:51. I was thinking,
so good, mate. I mean, the first ever marathon's a 5 something, right? And just to get that down to 2:51. Wait, so what year was that? Sorry,
2017.
Okay.
That was.
And what number marathon was that? Do you know? approx?
I actually don't know. I don't actually keep an idea of always numbers actually. But it would have been probably in the 150s, maybe 160s, probably, maybe. Yeah.
It's amazing. It's beautiful. It's a real good journey, yours. And
how do you take? And this is my thing. I don't even know to ask any expert. How can you take 6 minutes off? Because we know 6 minutes.
Oh, so you want to get championship 2:45?
No.
Oh, sorry, from your previous.
6 days earlier.
Yeah.
How can you take 6 minutes off? It's like, I couldn't even work it out.
I did exactly the same thing, James. I did exactly the same thing though, because I did 2:56 week 1, and then week 3 I dropped down to 2:52. I don't get it.
No.
But what I'm after now, and well, not right now, but maybe does championship time anything for you? I mean, 2:45. Could you reckon getting down to 2:45?
I'm not gonna say it's never. I can say nothing's impossible, especially right now. Actually, in the how I feel right now with my running.
Well,
the
mate,
enjoyment level has just gone way up.
Yeah,
and
I mean, you must still be buzzing or experiencing the biggest low from the weekend now, South Downs Way 100.
Yeah. Do you know what? And it's something like Paul Commons, as we all know, he runs every single day. And like you, Rob, now.
So he runs the same amount every single day. So it's different. But I see you do like quite a quick mile most days, James. I'm wondering if that's a time thing or if that's just how you tick over.
So it was. I've never run more than one day at a time, unless it was like when I was back I did an 18.8.
Yeah.
But actually, I just thought, let's just run a mile a day or a couple of miles a day and just keep ticking. I had to stop. I had done 2 days where I had to stop because of vaccine, because I had bad effects from that. So that affected me. But since then, I had a niggle. Probably it was in March or April time, where I was probably doing like 6 to 7 miles a day, really enjoying the mornings. But I had this niggle, and I thought, okay, you need to listen to your body, but I want to actually still run every day. Thought sensible thing is, let's try a mile. And since then, I've been doing these 1 mile shootouts, as I call them.
1 mile shootouts.
You do a little slingshot, like the route is always pretty much the same. You sort of seem to run out, slingshot round, and then come back, don't you?
That's it.
I'm not a stalker. Just love my Starbucks.
So, and it's been getting quicker and quicker, as you probably noticed. So, yeah, I've been doing, I thought, 6s is really good. We're enjoying it, 6:15, stuff like that. And now it's getting down to, more recently, and even actually on Thursday, a 5:25.
Oh my God, good boy. Good boy. 5:25.
I'm pretty sure I saw that you went out and did one of those, a tiny bit slower than that, but the evening after you'd run the 100 at South Downs Way. You'd clearly gone home, had a little nap, and then got up and went and ran your little slingshot.
Yeah.
What? Is that how you? Is that serious? Like, in a serious question, is that how you recover? Like, because you've you've had to test the waters, if you like, on what's possible with the running. You must, with the volume you've been cranking out and the distances, you must have to find a clever way of recovering, or is there no secret? You just got to work through it.
Just work through it. I just felt.
Not what I wanted to hear.
And I can tell you, and this is honest truth, I actually started out 8:30s. My legs wouldn't even really work. The first little part, but then it just, after a quarter mile, the legs eased, and I thought, okay, so we're aiming around now 7:20 because I had lap pace on, so I knew what I was achieving. And then it was getting like to 7:11. I thought, okay, let's just keep going. And I was quite annoyed because it was just dead on, I think, 6 minutes. I was like, what, again, is ridiculous.
Terrible. The day after, like, coming in the top 10 of like really serious 100 miler. The day of finishing it. Oh my God, I'm in awe of how mad it all is. I can't relate how quick, but.
And another thing that we are loving at the moment, James, I was speaking to you at Dinton about this. I don't know if you remember. Every time I bloody see you at a race, I think, oh no, Bennett's here. But you were going relatively easy at Dinton, and I had a chat with you. Turns out you're now eligible for a world record with ultra running.
Yes. So, and And the Internet was my first race back of the year.
Yes.
So again, it was just like, who knows what was going to happen that day, to be honest. And that's why I was glad actually I've done lots of training throughout the winter, because it wasn't actually as bad as the first fall, and actually you really enjoyed it.
Yeah.
And that's where the journey started this year. But yeah, no, so it's something I actually tried to get back in 2018. So my first ambitions was 100 marathons, as everyone says. Then you hear about the Triple Crown.
Yeah.
100 road, 100 trail, and 100 ultras.
Yeah.
And I thought, I've done 100 road now. What's my next thing? I need to keep motivating myself. So why do you turn up every race? What's the point? So there has to be a purpose, because I need a goal to keep me motivated and to keep running every week. And Guinness actually said no to start with.
Yeah.
They said, no, we don't accept 100 ultras. It's only 100 marathons. And I actually questioned it, saying, what's the difference?
Yeah.
They're completely two different type of races.
So sorry for clarity, James. The Guinness World Record you're after is 100 ultra marathons.
That's it.
In a space of time, or
is it the youngest person to do that?
It's the youngest person to do that. And so we did accept it after going back to him and putting my pennyworth in, type of thing, saying,
if they'll accept him pushing a bloody buggy round a car park, you can't not accept someone doing 100 ultras. Oh, dang.
So yeah, no, I was quite annoyed when we said no to start with. I thought, I'm not having this. I want it, to be honest. I've never thought I could achieve a world record.
Yeah.
Because I'm not that clever of person. And because you got to do, the rules are you have to do 31.1 miles at least. So,
okay, so 50k minimum, yeah.
Yeah. And yeah, so I've just been really working that hard over the last 2-3 years.
Yeah, I can see in your sheet. Sorry, I'm scrolling. It's very satisfying the way it's like a little flip book. It just goes ultra. That's mad.
Yeah, and last year I think actually only did one marathon. Was with Rick.
Just a break. Yeah.
So,
Because Remembrance Day, wasn't it? Yeah.
Yeah, and then it was literally because of lockdown. So I wouldn't have actually been doing it otherwise. I thought, I need to get one more in just for whoever knows.
The thing is, James, you didn't even do it the easy way. You've got a bunch of 100 milers in there as well, and 50s and things, and it's crackers. Because you could just go and do 50Ks, right, at any sort of circuit ones.
Yeah, and over the last probably year or two, I've been doing more 50Ks, not trying to do any extra, because actually I need to do that. But before that, as you'll see, at the beginning, I was just doing 50Ks. Then I was actually building up, doing 40 miles. But if you see my ever first proper ultra for Guinness, what was over 50K, was actually a back-to-back 50 milers I actually did at Ranscombe Summer Challenge in 2015.
Oh, it's at Ranscombe. For those who don't know, this is the North Downs way, pretty much, isn't it?
It is.
Near the Medway.
Did you say winter or summer? They're both horrible.
Summer.
And you did 50 miles each day?
Yeah, I did 53 for first day.
Mate, I just...
The
I was
second
probably
day,
there and I rang out at half.
and then the second day, I actually improved. I actually did 57. And I thought, oh my God.
Christ alive.
I just... to be fair though, that's 8 hours, so...
Yeah, Rob, to be
well,
fair, the
still
man's
disgusting.
running 50 miles on day 1 and then 57 on day 2. There's nothing fair about it. It's insane.
I don't think we have to be fair because he's literally Superman.
Yeah, this is ridiculous.
I think the rules have to be different.
So, James, where are you with the world record at the moment then? Is it pending?
Okay,
Have you done it? Or
I have done it. So what I've got to do now is what I was doing last weekend.
Paperwork.
On Sunday, was actually working out what data GPS I got and what I haven't. So actually, I've done some ultras, but I can't even count because I don't even have a GPS for it. It's just not uploaded to Garmin.
Right. Okay.
So I've lost a few 100 milers in there and stuff like that. So it's like,
oh, that's so cruel.
And there's some where I've not accounted because I'm thinking, who knows me in this race? So like Keys 100.
Because you're talking about you need witness statements and
Yeah.
and you need sort of race director statements. You need timing statements or marshal statements.
So no, so you need two witnesses per race, one race director, one participant. Then you got to do what I'm doing is GPS, because at least they can see that's true. I did run that race, and then doing time results as well.
Yeah.
And I'm hoping that data should be more than enough to prove that I've done the races. And I've got
a lot of admin, but you are determined guys.
Yes.
So I'm sure you get through it. And if we've done any of the same races, happy to witness. Or I can't remember.
Rob didn't witness.
Home
Rob didn't witness the 50 because he'd rung out at 13.
We're all different, Simon. We're all doing our best, all right? James, we do this to everyone. Like, of all that you've done over 300 marathons / ultras, what are your top three in reverse order? If you're doing a podium, what's your third favourite to start with?
I've been thinking about this.
Actually, James, for you, can we do something a bit different?
Yeah.
Because you've done 100 road, can we have your top 3 road and then top 3 races, whatever they are, of all time?
Okay.
So can we do top 3 road first?
Yeah.
So in third place for the roads. Because you are basically like the wishing you were here expert on road marathons, I'd imagine.
Okay, so I would say I just love it. I'm actually going back this year because I haven't been there for the last couple of years, and I wish I was back every year. Is Liverpool. It's just one of those races.
This is the rock and roll.
Yeah. And it's actually the course. I would actually always say it's not a PB course, because actually you've got a lot of elevation. You've got to go up to Anfield and Everton Stadium. You go through some parks and stuff. So the first bit's actually really hilly. But I've always done well, and it's not because I've done well. It's actually I just love the race course. It's scenic. You got the sea afterwards, where you got a 4-mile straight along the.
You go along the harbour, do you?
Go along the docks.
That's a beautiful place. Yeah.
And do you know what? It's just that scenery element. I just love it. You've got a bit of everything. You've got a bit of city. You've got a bit of scenery, nature-wise, through the parks, and then you get the docks as well. So it's got a bit of everything, and I just love it. And the crowds are brilliant.
I bet they are. What about number 2 then?
It's hard. Number 2 would have to be Boston. Boston is, you can't
college girls
imagine it. Actually, honestly, you can't imagine it. It's just one of those races that you feel what happened with the bombings. What's so sad, the whole city is really behind you. Everyone says hello, and it's my first America trip out there, and it's just amazing experience. And when you go to go to race start, you actually have to get on this yellow school bus.
Yeah.
Cool.
I love that in America. Cool. They all seem to do it. Yeah.
It's just amazing. So, and I have to admit, when you go to the start, they actually look after you. So they have bagels on offer, water, everything you want laid out while you wait there for maybe 2 hours usually. So you've got a long wait out there. But it's just that whole experience. If you're on a race experience, that is actually really cool. And that's why it's one of my favourite.
I'll get qualifying then.
And then, so I don't want to second guess this, but what's number 1?
It has to be, as probably everyone will know, it's London.
Yeah, I thought it would be.
Got agree.
It's again the crowd support, and yes, I know it's my PB. People say, it's because you're PB, and it is partly. But I actually didn't realise it's only actually right now, a couple of weeks ago, how many Londons I've run, and I think I've run 5 now.
Yeah.
And if I could run it every year, I'd be there.
Would.
It's just because it's just got that atmosphere. It's not the same as America trips. With American races, like the big ones, with the majors, they're just not, they're the same in some respects. But I think London's always missing a trick. So what I'd love London to do, marathon, why don't we actually do a 5K day before? I never get London. I think it's the only major not to have a 5K day before. Because I think it's actually, you get that feel where they're exposed so far away from the race anyway.
Yeah.
It'd be nice if it was just a bit more inner. But the race atmosphere is just electric from start to finish. And for me, I love crowds. not every runner does like a crowd. I love a crowd.
Oh, you do, don't you? Because it's even the people you don't know, you know, like high-fiving kids. You guys don't have time for this, but high-fiving the kids as you go up the mall and stuff like that, and they've got little signs. Brilliant.
It just motivates you. And I remember my last London, because my last London was special because it's my 300th marathon / ultra, and I actually wore a Pacific top to celebrate it.
Yeah.
I like to celebrate my races because it's just, for me, again, it's a personal achievement. But I just like to share that actually I'm doing something people might say special, because it is special to me. I'm really passionate about what I achieve. It means a lot to me. But I remember someone in the audience, spectator, saying, he's done 300 marathons. It's like, yes, I have. Because actually, if you said to someone, you've done 300, they'll just look at you so weird down for town.
Yeah.
We're in a small community group, and that's what I love most. Is actually
it's growing though, James. Do you not think our little world is growing? I feel it growing. You know, the 100 Club.
Oh, it's grown massively, and you know, with the change of scenery, different people go from doing the marathon. So like one of what I remember very well, and she supported me lots of times, was Karen Somerville.
Yep.
Yeah.
We actually did Dublin together, so she was struggling at Dublin. I said, do you know what? We're going to run it together and finish together. And I remember I've got a picture of holding hands together at the end. And that's what's, to me, special. It's actually for people you meet. And yeah, Karen doesn't run marathons anymore. What does it matter? And I think the other thing what I want to say, actually, what I love most, especially I'm young, is
you bastard.
It's actually for people you meet, but it's for older people.
Yeah, the legends, the seniors that have been around, they've seen it all. They probably hate us. Yeah.
Yeah, but it's just the seniors like Martin Bush, Brian Mills. But one I actually want to mention is actually who's really helped me a lot is Susie Hua.
Okay.
Yeah.
She actually got me round a few of these big challenges I've ever done. And yes, I won't say her age, but she's much older. Could be my mum, actually.
We've all got running mum. That's brilliant.
But do you know what? Age means nothing when running. And that's what I think is really nice. We all come from different backgrounds, but we actually have one big interest of a hobby, and that's running. That's what's so nice.
Nothing matters, does it? You know, race, size, age, anything. Yeah, you know, everyone's equal on the start line, even if they run different times. Pace doesn't matter either, really. It's it's a great equaliser.
That's really what cool. I loved about this weekend, chaps. I mean, you probably didn't have time, James, to see everyone and say, because there was no one to see. But it was just in this race of like 400 people. I'd like to think I knew quite a handful of those people out there, and it was just I felt like I was at home for some reason. You probably didn't get that at all. You probably felt like you were trying to run home before it got dark or something. But
no, I have to admit, it was a very, very lonely race. Yeah, very lonely. I can imagine. So I actually started off, as I said, a bit slower. Then I met Gareth.
Alan.
So I met probably just beginning mile 3. It was. Overtook him. Unfortunately, I didn't say hello or any. I think we just said hello, and that's it. Went on my way.
I'm sure you overtook me on the Matley Bowl within like 2 miles. Probably the first circle.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure I saw you. I was like, that's James Bennett. I'll buy.
But then, I didn't. Then you overtook a few people. Then bar mile 10,
that's
I was
it.
On my own too. Yeah. I didn't see anyone until mile 61.
Jesus.
So
Jesus.
It's a long way.
Yeah.
Didn't have to queue at the aid stations though. So
no,
there's that.
So there is some positives there. But what was annoying, I thought the race was actually going to be ending early for me. So it was after the QE, Queen Elizabeth Park.
Yeah, about 30 miles in.
We had to go through some woodland bits.
Yes.
And something pulled. What was my right calf? And I thought, oh no, I'm in trouble here. I just felt it go and I just struggled. And I was quite annoyed thinking, great.
Yeah.
But I thought, do you know what? I've got 3 hours in, or just over 3 hours. I've got plenty of time. If it's not my day, it's not my day. I'll just keep going. You just do in ultras. But then and this is a tip, what people will think weird, because I do wear my tights, whatever, what people will always say, how can you wear them?
It's boiling. What are you doing?
It keeps me fitness and not fitness. It keeps me injury free, I find. It's just something I've done from very early.
So we're talking about sort of compression
compression.
think, yeah.
It just keeps me in shape. Don't know why. I just tipped some water on it at mile 26, and it felt not too bad, and I just kept pushing after that, and it just went. And that's some of the things what I have done is I have run with an injury, groin union.
Yeah.
It was 2018, and this is going to sound very silly and stupid, what I'm going to say here. I actually had tendonitis at the beginning of that race, so I had to wear a knee brace.
Yeah.
Started off slow, 8:30s.
Started off slow, 8:30s. Robbie started slow.
Yeah, I'm just letting it go now.
No, but usually when I go for stuff, I'm one of these runners always goes out fast, dies at the end.
Yep.
And that's what he does, James. You don't do that. That's what Simon does.
Yeah.
But it's 145 miles for context, everyone. Like, so he's going out 8:30s, and that's like, okay, right. That's taking it easy.
But what's weird, by actually mile 60, 65, the pain went.
Yeah.
And I was able to take the knee brace off, pain-free.
Interesting.
So it's just interesting, actually, with my running, is actually how you actually get over injuries sometimes with running. You just run through them. What sounds very silly to some people, and it's not recommended, but it just did it. And again, never been on my feet for so long, and I did. It was I think it's
38 hours.
Yeah.
I looked because we're doing canals. I was like, how does James Bennett do a canal? We're going to go and plan a canal in a month's time. We'll have to pick your brains offline for that, James.
But then I did one 8 weeks later.
Kennet Avon, yeah, that's the one we're doing.
What was that then? What was Kennet Avon time, James? Just so I'm in my mind.
So just to let you know, first of all, I went strange strategy as last time. 40 miles in 6 hours.
Oh my God.
And I failed. I did 39 miles. I was quite upset actually on that one.
Fuming. And then you did what? What was your overall time?
Shocker. Because actually the funny story was, before I save time, is I knew it was 2 miles to go. I was struggling walking, then something again, flicks new thing, thinking, oh wow, I could achieve this time. Let's bomb it.
Yeah. And
bomb it I did. And it was just, I don't know where it came from. And I don't know how I could actually run further. Because it was after the Sainsbury's Bridge on the canal. So it's a long uphill for no reason. And then you have to go down. And it's like, do you know what? I'm going to get this now. I'm determined. And I got a sub 32.
What? No.
45.
And now was that,
so
James? Was
6 hours on your time.
James, was that running from Bristol to London? Or London to
Yes.
Bristol to London. Okay, so we're running the other way. So irrelevant. That doesn't mean anything for us.
No, because he said it's up and down, so there'll be a Sainsbury's Bridge, but it'll just come at a different time.
And it'll be down.
It'll come early on. It'll come mile 1.
Lovely.
So mile 1, mile 2. So yeah, but do you know what? No, it's again, I never expected it. Who could think taking 6 hours off is just like ridiculous? But yeah, it's just again, you just enjoy it and just try your best. I think it's
that's good advice. That's what I'll do. I'm gonna enjoy it and try my best.
But I never have any expectations. That's the thing. I will try my best always. But I didn't expect to achieve that because you just never know. So many things can go right and so many things can go wrong.
So the James Bennett way of running is there is no plan. Run to feel. And if there's a third one,
enjoy yourself.
Enjoy yourself, but push as well.
Yeah,
when
and
you want to.
The wrong thing what people might know is don't follow my nutrition. It is ridiculous.
So go
ridiculous.
On. Before we go to bed then, James, how bad is this?
How much do you think I had on the South Downs Way 100?
In terms of calories?
In terms of just food-wise.
I reckon you had a handful of grapes and a Scotch egg.
I'm going with you had those lovely sandwiches on offer. Oh, no, actually, no, I'm going to go out there. Every aid station, you just took a pack of little jelly babies. So probably about 4 jelly babies and averaging per 6 to 9 miles.
Okay. I took something at the second aid station because we didn't stop at the first one. What was the packets of sweets. Set 4. I actually eat the sweets. until I think it was about probably over 50 miles. So I had two pastels,
2
just
fruit
two little
pastels
sweets, two fruit pastels.
for 6 hours.
Um, and then afterwards, I had 3 wine gums, and I think that was no. And then 66 miles, because I actually said to him, I wanted to know if they had jelly, because I love jelly. I only found this out from last North South Downs Way.
What is
Um,
this? I'm
and they
raging.
had fruit in it, so I'm not a big fan of fruit. So they said, "Oh yeah, but it will just simmer down," and that was actually my whole race nutrition.
James,
Oh,
James,
no, stop it.
James,
Stop it.
James,
'cause you-
James, you've had probably less than 200 calories. And my watch told me that I burnt 11,700 calories. Why are you not dead?
And you're running too fast to be burning fat before you say that. So,
So no, literally, it's
and a
just
massive breakfast.
just the drinks get me through. Actually, well,
Well,
breakfast.
what were you drinking? Did you have stuff you put in the water?
No, so I don't have any of that. So I actually survived only on half a litre for the first 22 miles.
No.
James.
No.
This feels no.
Well, I've just grand slammed this fucking thing, and I'm talking to some guy who's had a couple of pastels and a smidgen of water.
So, so 22 miles, I literally only had half a litre. And again, for the next 4 miles, it was just half a litre of Pepsi, because that's what I drink actually on races afterwards. I have literally juice to start with, and then it goes to Coke or Pepsi, and that's what gets me through.
See, I'm like a joke runner compared to you, but I'm like, no, you've got to have proper carbs, you've got to have proper slow.
Well, Rob has a walking buffet. Rob has a walking buffet.
Yeah, but it's all these things like, no, you don't have sugar and caffeine, so it's late at night. You've got to save those effects for later. No, just have whatever, wine gums and Coke.
Well, he's not even having whatever, Rob. He's not even having whatever.
I don't care. I'm just going to have a 2-litre bottle of Pepsi on my back each side now when I run along the Kennet A. But
I'm done with this. I'm done with this. I'm so done with this.
You've triggered both of us. Well done.
And then for breakfast, as I think you was getting on to, Rob.
This is prior to, right?
This is prior. A gigantic dinner and breakfast, surely.
Unfortunately not. So dinner so I had a nice Burger King Whopper meal.
Burger King Whopper meal.
That's my prep. For dinner.
What was breakfast?
Breakfast. Okay. And this is what I do now. It used to be croissants, chocolate croissants used to get me round. It's gone worse than that now. I actually do have 2 Bourbon biscuits.
No, Jake, no. Me and Rob, we stayed in this cottage, and at 4 a.m, we were so nervous. We're like, flick that kettle, Rob. We've bought some golden syrup, oats or whatever. Two pots each. Come on, get it down, your son. Get it down, you. Get it down, you. Do you want this banana? Shit. I bought you a chicken and bacon slice, Rob, for 11s. Do you want that?
2 Bourbon biscuits.
No.
I'm carrying hot sponge around with me.
I'm fuming.
So you'll find me on every race in the last couple weeks. 2 Bourbon biscuits gets me round.
James.
So I'm sort of angry and
Yeah, I actually want to boot. I want to stop now. I want to boot this off now. Oh my God. I can't believe it. That is.
Well, it clearly works, doesn't it?
Yeah. Well, where's the scientist? Can we get a nutritionist on and explain this next week, whenever it is? What on earth?
Have to. This is impressive and mad, James, and so is everything you told us about. Thanks very much for giving us your time. That was illuminating.
Thank you. No, it's just.
We've sat on this for 1 hour and 10 minutes, and you've been holding the Bourbon biscuits and 2 fruit pastels. James.
Better go and get your dinner before Burger King closes. I'm so impressed, James. Next time we come to a race and you don't fancy going quick, we're going to talk more about nutrition, mate.
Yes, no, definitely, yeah. So, it's just what it is. I just don't eat, and I'll just.
Well, I don't think you need to change anything. We do.
Yeah. Fuck. Well, James, all the best, mate, with the world record admin.
Thank you.
I really hope you get that. Because not met a nicer person really on this, have we? I've really enjoyed this. Brilliant.
Bloody nice, interesting, and some broken people, James, and you are right up there, mate. I love it. This is brilliant. You've made my little evening. And I'm sure we'll see you running around a car park or some road sometime soon, mate. Or you'll dash past us on 100 with your pastels.
That's it.
All right, buddy. Thanks very much.
Thanks so much.
Yeah, cheers, guys. Night.